No matter what you do in life, this kind of course will help you get more money without having to work for it. Listen, according to a 2018 study, a $400 emergency would send 40% of Americans into debt. That's terrible. And too often, people are poor and stay poor because they don't know how to manage their money. So why am I reviewing a money management course? Because I don't want you guys to make the same mistakes everyone else makes. Look, no matter what you do professionally, now, not tomorrow, now is the time to learn how to manage your money. Just imagine what your life would be like if you could learn to manage your money just like the elite does, the 1%. See, this course is specifically designed to help you develop the habits that you must acquire if you want to become wealthy and if you want to stay wealthy. During this course, you'll develop your own structure to manage your money, and you'll develop your own financial plan so you can get to where you want to go financially as fast as possible. Those who fail to plan to fail, remember. So what are those habits? The first habit is to know what's going on in your financial life. The method suggested in this course is to take a snapshot of your finances. It's simply a document in which you keep track of your debts, assets, monthly earnings and spendings and all that stuff. So what do you spend on? You have subscriptions, debt, insurances. How does groceries and rent cost? How does everything you spend on cost individually? What about all together? How much do you earn before and after taxes? You could be planning on buying a house, a car, or you could be planning on something more lucrative like saving as much taxes as possible in your 401k. But no matter what you're planning, when you're planning for something related to money, you need the answers to all of those questions. A document which contains the answer to all of those questions, when well done, is a precious tool. But I know how it's gonna end up. If you're just a little bit like me, it kind of sucks a little to do that kind of thing because you're lazy and it takes a little more effort than you'd like, right? And the harder it is to create your financial snapshot, the less you'd be inclined to do it properly. And the less likely it is, it's gonna be up to date when you'll need it. So we wanna have as little friction as possible, right? The more complicated and the more friction and the more likely you are to give up on it. So what's the solution? Should you try to do it with as little friction as possible? Like you could just take 5 minutes, grab the first piece of paper you could put your hand on and write on it your approximate salary and spendings and all that stuff without really making sure of anything. Yeah, that would be as little friction as possible, right? But the thing is, the end result would suck, it would be worthless, and you wouldn't use it for more than a week. So listen up, the instructor came up with a brilliant idea. The solution is quite simple. It gives you a document which contains his template. You open the document in Excel or Google spreadsheet and you just change the numbers with your own and you listen to his advice. That's all. And that's all you have to do to get it done and set up. You can hardly get less friction than that. Now, there's a very popular idea in personal finance that says you should keep money aside for emergency. You keep it liquid enough so if something terrible happens, you don't have to sell your stocks, your bonds, and any of your long-term investments. It makes sense, right? But how much money do you need to keep aside? The short answer is all depends on your financial snapshot. But you can be sure of one thing, it's gonna be an overwhelming amount of money. So before you start watching this course or searching for answers on the internet, I have to tell you a secret that makes keeping that kind of money way easier. Even if you don't invest it, you can make money with that money. So let's say you put aside $30,000 for an emergency. And let's say that with that money, you could be out of work for 6 months without it impacting your future too much. But you can't invest it so it doesn't grow, and even worse, it's losing its value because of inflation. So $30,000 set aside under these conditions is a lot of money. But picture this, okay? Let's imagine a friend of yours knows a lot about cars. Like he works with cars, he had one of those car beds when he was a kid. He has a car tattooed on his chest, and his wedding cake was a car, despite his wife's desires for a regular wedding cake. He knows everything about cars. One day he calls you and tells you about that sport car on sale for half what it's worth. He tells you he inspected it and it's in perfect condition. It's an amazing opportunity to make money. All he has to do is to buy it and sell it back. But the thing is, he doesn't have the money. But guess who do? You do. So after you made sure you could sell it back quickly, you bought it with 1/3 of your emergency fund, and boom, just like that, in a month, you made $10,000 for a safe and calculated investment. And I don't know, you gave $1,000 to your friend, and everyone's happy. That's the kind of opportunity that can show up any moment, but you will most likely only see them if you have the money to seize the opportunity. Another way you can make money safely with that emergency fund is money deflation. It's when your money gains value. Something that just happened recently in 2020 when the market dropped by 35% in a month. So same example, 1/3 of your money, and let's say you had a bad timing. So you're probably looking at $1,000, $1,500, something like that. And if you had a good timing, you're probably looking at least $3,000 for a safe and calculated investment. So obviously, to make sure that investment is safe, you need to have a really stable financial situation, and you also need more prior knowledge than for first example. And just to be clear, okay, you won't learn to do that in this course. It will help you build the habit of always keeping money aside, and it will help you figure out how much money do you need to keep aside. And that is the real priority, not making money with your emergency fund. Then the next section is on dealing with debt. I personally never really had debt in my life, not because I'm rich, but because I'm not a big spender and I never really bought something when I didn't have the money. So I won't be talking about my personal experience, and clearly if you feel overwhelmed by debts, this section will tremendously help you understand what can be done to be in control once again. Like for most of what you learn in this course, it comes back to structure. So you'll learn how to keep a visual over your debts and how to build a plan to get rid of your debts according to your financial snapshot. Then lastly, retirement. How to build the habit of consistently saving for retirement. If you're like me, you don't want to wait until you're an old fart to be free, right? Because that's what retirement is about, being free. That's about making sure you're not your boss's for the rest of your life. Be careful here. It's not about not working. It's about not having to. So this section is all about calculating how much money do you need to set aside to get there as fast as possible. No fancy stuff here. You won't learn how to trade or how to invest your money. It's the basic, but you need to start somewhere, and that somewhere is essential and you shouldn't skip it. So overall, in this course, other than getting the crucial habits, you learn the structure, a way of thinking and visually looking at every aspect of your financial life. It's not a course about investing, budgeting, or entrepreneurship. It's a course about managing your money like someone who plans to be wealthy. It's simple, but I mean, I have a finance security advisor license and I still got some things out of it. So if you want to start building your net worth, or if you just want to take back control over your life, you should take that course. You can get it for free on Skillshare using the link in the description. With that being said, thanks for watching. Keep learning and growing every day, and I'll see you next week.